Hey, good morning, you guys. I am coming to you with a pretty cool message this morning. Some revelation knowledge hit me over the weekend, and God brought me to two different scriptures yesterday. And when I saw the word vessel in them, this message is called Husband is Lord over his house, a sanctified vessel. And when I saw that the word vessel was used synonymously in both passages, I knew that this was something that God really wanted me to share with my faith family. And many of you know I'm in my marriage season, but I'm also waiting to get married and to be united with the one that God has for me, my kingdom husband. And in this waiting season, I am working, in my business, and I'm growing it, and I'm seeing a quickening in it. And I'm seeing exponential growth in my business, rapid growth very quickly. And so over the weekend, I was asking God, I said, how come I'm seeing so much quickening in my business, but I'm not necessarily seeing in the natural the quickening in my marriage and that coming to pass? Because in 2021, if you've seen and followed my journey, I thought I was going to be married in 2021, and I had no pressure on it. This was just, the conversations that I was having with the Lord, right? And so I've kind of redacted into making a date with God, into compromising a date, because God knows the date, and the date is in heaven for my holy matrimony and our holy matrimonies, correct? But this really struck me. What he was reminding me is that when I do get married, my husband is going to be Lord over my house, Lord over our house, in fact. And so he will also be Lord over my business. And I know that this is a controversial topic, but I want to share it with you in what I was reading. So there is so much happening in the spirit right now. And I've been feeling it in a lot of, sorry, I just woke up, so I'm not really full on with makeup. So I've been feeling so many people in very many places right now within their own spiritual walks. And a lot of people are just exhausted, right? And I've talked about this in my other video, how there's spoken word curses in the atmosphere that are pulling energy from believers, and people are just really just depleted in this place, and they need to tuck in with the Father. And what God was showing me is that if there is any little bit, this is why deliverance is so important, if there's any little bit where the enemy can find a doorway, even if it's just a crack of a doorway, if he can find his way through, the enemy will find his way through to you and try to wreak havoc in your life, especially those who are in marriage already. So God is reestablishing the order of things in his kingdom, meaning the male as priest or pastor or shepherd or Lord and king over his household. So many women have worked very hard to make ends meet. And I'm not targeting anybody. I'm just saying this is what God convicted me of, and he showed me this. And he said, but they forget about the order. They have forgotten about the order of the household. And I know many women, because I have a lot of strong, independent, lady friends that either work, in a job where they make more money in their household. I mean, right now, the economy is all over the place, right? It's the enemy is scattered. And so all those negative things are scattered, but God is reestablishing order over his kingdom households. And part of that is who is making the most money in the household, who is Lord over the household. I'm going to get a lot of slack for this. I just know it, but I just want to speak what God told me, okay, in the way that he told me. So this is for marriages. This word is for marriages, and this word is also for me because I'm preparing for marriage. And anybody else who agrees with me, please leave me a comment. Please share this message. So also what I've been noticing is that the wicked things and the evil ways are coming to a head, meaning they're ending and being moved out of the way. So this is from Jeremiah. King Zedekiah and his princes will be given into the hand of their enemy, my people, meaning our enemies. They'll be given into the hand of our enemies, but God did not want this originally. So just know that this was something, we may have had good intentions as a woman who has her own business, who's growing her business and seeing a lot of progress in her business right now. But God dropped revelation in me that I might have to give that up when I get married in order to keep the order of my kingdom household. And I'm okay with that. That's something that I'm willing to be submissive in. So yet hear the word of the Lord, O Zedekiah, king of Judah. This saith the Lord of thee, thou shalt not die by the sword, but thou shalt die in peace. But then later on, and that's in chapter 33, but then later on in 34, God is saying, oh no, I'm actually just going to deliver you into the hand of your enemies. So in this time, we're seeing certain things be spoken of the enemy, but then certain things happen differently. So the reordering of the finances in the home is what God is restructuring. And God took me to 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 20. I'm going to start at verse 20. And this whole section is called Sanctified Vessel. And I know that my kingdom husband and I are both being sanctified in this time for us to come together. So it's really important. But in a great house, meaning in that house that both he and I will live in together when we are married, there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some of honor and some to dishonor. So part of the biggest part of what men need the most is to be honored. That is one of the biggest things that you can do for your kingdom husband, is honor him in truth, in sincerity and truth, that unleavened spiritual bread. So verse 21, if a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. Meaning in this time, he's being prepared for all those good works that are to come. And it might not be visible yet, meaning I'm seeing the quickening in my business because God still wants me to have all those successes in my business before we come together and we're united. And I might have to give up my business, or I might have to step down from that leadership role of being the moneymaker in the household. And I'm okay with that. So in order for him to be prepared unto every good work that God has for him, he needs to be a sanctified vessel. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3, because this is where God really reinforced it. Submission in marriage. This whole section is called submission in marriage. Again, remember, many women have worked very hard to make ends meet. Now, I'm not saying give up your gifts and your talents and don't work in your field. What I'm saying is Ruth worked in the field, but after her and Boaz got married, do you think that she went back out to work in the field? I don't think so. I think Boaz would have had a heyday if he saw his wife back out there working in the field again. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. So verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, right? And my name is Sarah, so this resonates with me. As long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement, likewise ye husbands dwell with them. So he's saying in this household where you're dwelling together, your wife will call you Lord. So step into that role as a sanctified vessel. And listen to this, according to the knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. So not just us giving honor to our husbands, but also them giving honor to us. Listen to this, as unto the weaker vessel. So yes, he is a vessel. I am a vessel. I am the weaker vessel. And God is reestablishing the order of things in the kingdom right now. That's why so many shifts are happening, especially in kingdom marriages. And the devil wants to have a heyday. He wants husband and wives fighting right now. So if there's any little door where he can get in and fight, take this to heart. It might be that the wife that I might need to give up being that head of finances in my home. I pray that you guys will pray over this message and study the scriptures. I'm going to put them below and let me know your feedback about it. I know that this is a very controversial subject. I mean, especially because we've seen women in the last 50 years really take a more high-end leadership role in companies and, in business, and being able to be kind of glorified and overly honored in that. But we need to take it back to, Abraham and Sarah, and really study the fact that Sarah called Abraham Lord as a husband, because he was Lord over the household. And just taking that posture, being the one to admit and to recognize, as a woman, I have to posture myself and come into the, the living room with my husband and be like, husband, how are you? Husband, how's your day going? Husband, what do you say we should do, with the business? What do you say we should do with the finances? And taking that kind of a posture so that the enemy has no place to come in and wreak havoc in the marriage. I love you guys so much, and I hope this word blesses you. Bye.